Hey everybody, Drew here from Pella Cars. Absolutely honored to bring you guys this gorgeous 2011 Toyota Corolla S. S means sport model. It is upgraded with ground effects, as you can see here. It's got upgraded headlights, a moonroof, a sporty interior, upgraded stereo, upgraded wheels. It's an absolutely gorgeous car inside and out. I'm going to walk you through the entire thing and show you any flaws, or as many flaws as I can, that wouldn't jump out in photos. So there's no surprises when you get here to test drive it, or even more so, no surprises if you buy it online and have it delivered. So it's got 104,504 miles on it, all of which were put on by one very, very caring owner. I'll show you some, telltale signs around the car that it was loved and taken, very good care of. And also it has no accidents, just perfect history, but by one really great owner. So as far as imperfections up front, the hood is relatively free from stone chips. There's a few if you get up close, and the bumper is a little bit faded compared to the rest of the car, and therefore kind of holds road grime a little bit worse, if that makes sense. Like, that'll clean up, but it'll get, just because of the fading from the plastic versus the metal in the body of the car, it'll get dirtier faster, if that makes sense. It's just basically the front bumper's a little bit faded. There's a couple chips along the bottom there, and a little crack in the ground effect right there. It's also important to note this car is from way downstate, south of Albany, where there's a substantial, like maybe a third of the amount of snow we get up here, and it's generally sunnier. So underneath this car has nowhere near the rust a Rochester 2011 would have. It's probably more like a Rochester 2020, which of course I'm going to show you in the video, so make sure you watch the whole thing. There's a little scuff underneath the ground effect. You can't see it standing. Again, the car would be photoed like that, right? Well, if you get under there like you might if you come here, you'd see that. So that's what these videos are for, is to make sure that you do see as much as possible. The wheels, they are an upgrade for the sport model. This is actually I believe that's bead sealer. Either way, there's some scratches around the outside of the wheels, like right here where they bumped up against a curb or something, and some stains, which might come out, but probably not, from brake dust. Brakes, by the way, are brand new, as you can see there for yourself. And this is one of those telltale signs this was a loved car. These tires are at least 80% of their tread left, and they're Michelins. So you can get really, really cheap tires for a Corolla, like really cheap. These Michelins are probably 4 times the cost of the least expensive option. And this, again, one owner opted for the most expensive tire, which is a good indication that they didn't neglect things like oil changes, and they probably weren't reckless or abusive drivers if they would spend that kind of money on tires when something for, again, about a quarter the price was absolutely available. So coming along this side, just absolutely as close to perfect as you're going to get. There's one little chip right there. Roof is in, well, yeah, there you go. A little bit of dust up there, and what looks like, I don't know if that'll come off. Yes, it will. So that's just a little bit of some kind of stain. But other than that, roof's in great shape. Back wheel, again, that's got more tread. These back tires are probably, well, they still have, maybe these tires are newer than I thought, because they still have the little things on them you could see from the manufacturing mold. These are probably 95%. The front ones are probably 85%. There is a little chip here that you can see started to rust, unfortunately. Should take a while before it turns into anything, but that's a stone chip. And there's a good little gouge. They backed into something here. You could see that. Super common on these, the bottom of the license plate scratches the trunk, but obviously the license plate will be there to hide it, once you take the car home. Underneath, again, there's no rot, no scaling rust, nothing like that. Just a very little bit of surface rust. Again, probably like a Rochester 2021, 2022 even. Just very, very clean underneath. I'll get you some more angles as we walk around the car. This side, there's a couple chips. There's a little scratch right there. I can't explain that one. It looks like something went like back and forth on it. Like maybe the car was against something, and from getting in and out and the movement of the car, no clue from a forensic standpoint. Little chips right here, and again, those new Michelin tires, or newish Michelin tires. The back brakes are original, and because they're drums, they're usually good for 200 to 250,000 miles in a gently driven car like this. Definitely nowhere near needing at the moment. There's some scuffs on the rocker molding from where they got in and out, hit it with their heel, and underneath again, which is super important. Look at that. The bolts are silver still. Absolutely ridiculous how clean it is when you get away from Rochester. Again, in these front tires, 85%, I'd say, 95 in the back. Inside is the real treat. It's like new. Definitely not a smoker. Definitely didn't eat in it. Obviously they probably had something to eat at some point, but it was not a habitually eaten in car. There's no evidence whatsoever of spills of drinks or food or anything like that. The seats are perfect. And this is a really nice fabric. It's like a polyester weave instead of nap. So it's somewhere between. It has a little bit of slide to it, like leather seats. So it's easier to move around in, but it doesn't hold the heat and the cold like leather. Carpets are as close to perfect as you're going to get. These are actually pretty inexpensive type of carpets. It's almost like a felt that they put in nowadays, and it's usually not in this good a shape. That's just incredible. But again, it goes back to, not being a Rochester car. So all the plastic in here is just absolutely perfect. I can't think of one blemish inside this car from having prepped it for this video. I can't think of one blemish I saved in my head to point out. Just as close to perfect as you are going to get. Let's see here. Back seat, perfect as well. I guess maybe there's a blemish. No, maybe not. Just absolutely wonderful. Looks like there's possibly a scuff. Nope. Just absolutely perfect. Little scuff from me getting in and out. Sorry about that. So I guess nothing to report on the inside. I'll show you in the trunk. It has the genuine Toyota floor mats. Oh, this car does have a tilt and slide moonroof as well. In the trunk, it's got the carpeted floor mat, which is extra. That was a feature that came along with these carpeted mats, which are, the worst of them is the driver's mat, and even that's in almost perfect shape. It's a little bit bent right here from not being installed properly, and then here's the back one's just absolutely perfect. These seats do fold down, and you can fit a decent amount of stuff in this car. These do get freakishly good gas mileage too. If you baby it, you could approach 40. Probably 36, 37 if you drive it normally. I actually owned one of these when they were brand new, identical to this, just without the facelift. It was a 2009. So let's see here. As far as how it drives, absolutely as good as it looks. It's very, very smooth. So it's the sport model, but it doesn't have upgraded suspension. So it's not going to ride, stiff like a sports car. It rides nice and smooth like a standard Corolla, which I guess for somebody that wants to take corners fast, that's a downside. But for somebody that's just going to get on the expressway and cruise, smoother is better. The sport package for suspension usually means, stiffer over bumps, but tighter over corners, where the regular one kind of floats but doesn't corner as fun. But it's not a high horsepower car, so probably doesn't need to go around corners super fast either. It's a little bit of review content for you there. So it's a bulletproof 4-speed automatic, and the dual variable valve timing 4-cylinder that's in these is fantastic. It's crazy reliable, and it's very powerful. Dual variable valve timing means both the exhaust and intake cams are able to adjust for conditions. So there's no compromise between power and smoothness and efficiency. It just does what it needs to do when it needs to do it. So we're already going highway speeds. I'm going to take my hand off the wheel for you, show you. Let me straighten up. Drives perfectly straight. I'm going to hit those brakes, which are brand new, and there is no shakes, shimmies, pulls, anything like that. I'm going to take you guys down to the stop sign, and we'll get up to highway speed again. I'll get on it a little bit more. Not one to, beat on cars or anything, but we'll... As you see, plenty of power, plenty of get up and go. Take my hand off the wheel for you. Of course, there's a crown in the road, but hand off the wheel. Drives nice and straight. So absolutely gorgeous car, inside, outside, underneath, mechanically, and it drives as good as it looks. So if you'd like to buy this car, you can do it over the phone or online and have it shipped, but of course we would love to meet you in person. Again, my name is Drew. You could call me directly if you'd like, 585-771-0111, or the website's www.pellacars.com. And hey, if you were entertained by this video, if it was helpful for car shopping unrelated to this car, or if you just, want to see more like it, feel free to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That tells the internet it's good content, and of course, we appreciate that feedback. So again, I'm Drew for Pella Cars. It's been an honor to show you this 2011 Corolla S. Take care. Hope to meet you soon. Thank you. Bye.